去年7月、札幌ススキノのホテルで男性を殺害し、頭部を持ち去るなどしたとして親子3人が起訴された事件で、死体遺棄幇助などの罪に問われている母親の初公判が来月4日に開かれることが決まりました。去年7月、札幌ススキノのホテルで恵庭市の62歳の男性が殺害され、頭部を持ち去られた事件では、札幌市厚別区の田村瑠奈被告が殺人や死体遺棄などの罪で起訴されました。
On July 2nd of 2023, a 62-year-old man by the name of Hitoshi Ura was murdered in a hotel in Susukino, Sapporo. The nature of this crime has puzzled Sapporo police, as the man was found decapitated in the hotel room bathtub. Tamura Runa, age 30, her father, Osamu, age 60, and her mother, Hiroko, 61, are suspected of conspiring to kill a 62-year-old man living in Eniwa City, decapitate him, and stash his head away, which was later found in their household by police. Not much is known, or better yet, released about Hitoshi, but he was an older man who often dressed up in a feminine way and enjoyed going to the nightclubs. Ura checked into the hotel at around 10:50 p.m. on July 2nd with an individual believed to be Runa Tamura. The individual was then seen leaving the hotel room alone at about 2 a.m. the following day, according to police. Runa Tamura is believed to have been the only one at the crime scene, but the police suspect her parents were also accomplices. Investigators said the daughter and her father bought a knife, a saw, and a suitcase in Sapporo, and the father also purchased a large quantity of ice near the family home in the early hours of July 2nd. The parents and the child were arrested and indicted, and the first trial of the mother, Hiroko Tamura, was held at the Sapporo District Court on June 4th, and Hiroko denied the charges and claimed innocence. At the trial, the prosecution pointed out, quote, "She met the victim at a closing event in Susukino, then went to a hotel and had sex with him without contraception. This is why Runa thought up the idea of killing him. After Runa mutilated the body, Hiroko contacted Osamu and said she would like to see her daughter's work." Born in Muroran, Hiroko graduated from Hokkaido University of Education, Asahikawa campus, and worked at the Hokkaido Prefectural Asahikawa Museum of Art for 8 years. She married Tamura Osamu on March 1993 and gave birth to their eldest daughter Runa in February 1994. After getting married, Hiroko, who was a full-time housewife, started working part-time at the age of 60. Hiroko and Osamu had Runa see a psychiatrist from the second year of junior high school and sent her to a free school for the third year of junior high school, but she was rarely able to attend. From around the age of 18, she became a recluse at home while sleeping at all hours of the day and awake during the night. She could not go out unless she was with Osamu or Hiroko, and most of the time, she would go to Don Quixote, Japan's biggest discount store, as well as game centers or to doll shops. Accompanied by Osamu as a child, Runa was a Harry, as they call it, and was seen as a normal child who really enjoyed Harry Potter and would invite friends over often. She would frequent Kaidan Raibu Bar, which is a horror-themed bar in Hokkaido, and her favorite place to go. From the age of 18, she began saying things like, "Tamura Runa is dead," and her parents stated she suffered from zombie mole soul, also known as zombie delusion, To the rest of the world, this might be referred to as multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder, I believe, which is characterized by the presence of two or more distinct personalities or identities. Each may have a unique name, personal history, and different characteristics. Runa had behaved this way for over 10 years and continuously called herself Ruru and Cynthia and sang things like, "Tamura Runa's body is inhabited by the soul of 5 or 6 people, and I'm just borrowing this body." At times, her speech and behavior would seem to be of entirely different people throughout the day. Even stranger, she would occasionally stare into space and have repeated conversations with her imaginary lover, none other than the infamous Jeff the Killer. So by this point, I guess it's safe to say there is something seriously wrong with her mind and needed help. When her mind became unstable, she would scream incomprehensible words as if she had gone mad, punched holes in the walls of her home, and even engaged in self-harming and attempted suicide on numerous occasions. Hiroko lived her life with the utmost care of not denying Runa's delusions. She tried to fulfill her wishes as much as possible, and she even attended the wedding reception, or the ceremony, for Runa's imaginary lover Jeff. While in elementary school, their home was kept very clean and tidy, but as the years went by, Runa began to dislike throwing things away, including trash, so the house quickly became a home full of trash and other belongings. Just before the incident, there was barely enough room to walk in the house, and Osamu had no space to sleep at home, so he often stayed at internet cafes. Around 6 years ago, the clinic where she was receiving treatment said that she met the criteria for multiple personality disorder and schizophrenia. However, due to the fact that she was receiving a disability pension and had repeatedly attempted suicide, she was diagnosed with manic depression. After that, she stopped going to the clinic, and Osamu began prescribing her medication. She complained that antipsychotics, which are used to treat schizophrenia, made her feel unwell, so she stopped taking them only after a few times, and began taking antidepressants instead. On May 28th of 2023, at Runa's request, Osamu takes her to the closing event of King Mu. This was the first time she had ever gone to a club. She had always been interested in horror movies and SM for several years. SM meaning sadism and masochism. From around February of last year, she started going to the ghost story bars, but her depression only grew stronger. While at King Mu, Runa had contacted her father, saying that she had hit it off with someone at the event and was going to go to round 1. This was a big step for her, since she never really goes anywhere without her parents, but her father and mother were very happy to see that she was getting out of her shell. After the night of fun, her and the man had eventually gone to the hotel, and according to Japanese people, one of the reasons why she may have murdered him was because she wanted him to use contraceptives, but he lied to her saying he would, but ended up not doing so. When she pointed out that he had not used any, he brushed it off and continued with their plan. After they left the hotel, Osamu took her to a clinic where he prescribed her the morning after pill. According to Osamu, Runa had agreed to the sexual act itself, but she was very depressed and very angry that he did not use any contraceptives. After the initial incident at the hotel, the mother and father did not want Runa to meet the man anymore. Hiroko created a fictitious scenario in which Runa was the daughter of a Yakuza boss and wrote up notes thinking of ways to harm her. Osamu also somehow got a hold of the man's number and called him several times, and on the afternoon of July 1st, he got through to the man on the phone for the first time and asked him not to go meet with his daughter. The man refused, saying, "The other person wants to meet too." Osamu then agreed under one condition: don't do anything that Runa would dislike. The day after, Hiroko witnessed an unfamiliar plastic case in the bathroom with what appeared to be a black garbage bag inside of it. She was very hesitant and did not want to check to see what was inside the bag. It wasn't until Runa told her, "I've come home with the man's head." The mother was skeptical, but after seeing the news report of the discovery of a headless body, she began to wonder if her daughter's words were true. Although too scared to check, she still refused to open the bag. Hiroko was eventually forced to look inside the bag and found the man's head with his skin peeling off in the bathroom sink. Runa wanted to take a photo with the head and forced her mother to hold the camera to take the picture. Osamu, on July 7th, agreed to film a video for Runa and the head. Instead of reporting the incident, in their minds, they had no choice but to go about their daily lives as usual. For a few days, they decided to live in the house with a decaying head inside. They both chose to live inside the home without reporting the incident to the police. The crime of abandoning a corpse is a state crime. The act of abandonment was completed and ended when Runa brought the head into her home. The act of concealment can only be evaluated as an act of abandonment if it involves a move to a different location. Hiroko's involvement in the act of relocation in this case is an accessory after the fact and cannot be charged with a crime. This case is still ongoing, so I do plan to make an update video or a follow-up for this once everything is officially finished, but might be a little bit of a shorter video, but I just thought it was very interesting because there's a lot of speculation regarding why they did it. And I think the people of Japan, people that I know who know about the story, have said that it's most likely because he decided not to use contraceptives. But given the history of her mental state, I feel like it could have been something much more. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.